This is Top Accolade African News Update. I am Soibifa Jakarich. Under the beaming lights of New York's iconic Times Square, Nigerian chess maker Tunde Onakoya is attempting an ambitious challenge to break the record for the longest chess marathon. He aims to play for 58 consecutive hours and raise $1 million, that is 805,000 euros, for charity in the process. The money, he says, will support chess education for millions of children. Hundreds of supporters have shown up to cheer on the chess master, including Nigerian Afrobeat star Davido. The Nigerian community in New York has rallied behind their compatriots, providing Mr. Onakoya with music and energizing him with supplies of classic Nigerian dishes, including the beloved national staple jollof rice. Back home in Nigeria, people are throwing their support behind Onakoya as they watch him try to conquer the record on Twitch, a video streaming service. By 03:00 on Friday New York time, Mr. Onakoya had played for 39 hours and raised more than 42,000 euros after crossing the halfway point. He said achieving the record was looking possible now. He is set to play until at least 20:00 New York time on Friday, which will see him clock 58 hours and surpass the world record, recognized by Guinness World Records of 56 hours, 9 minutes and 37 seconds, which was set by Norwegian duo Harvard, Hag Flatebo and Sojo Peckinstad in 2018. Mr. Onakoya, 29, credits chess with saving him from the overwhelming poverty he faced growing up in Lagos' infamous floating slums. His NGO, Chess in Slums Africa, teaches children from poor communities chess and helping them with their education. Mr. Onakoya is also a board member of the US non-profit The Gift of Chess, which works to transform lives through chess and is targeting to distribute 1 million chess sets to underserved communities by 2030. Nigerian soldiers say they have rescued a young woman who was adopted in the Chibok kidnapping 10 years ago. 276 girls were taken from a secondary school in the town in Borno on 14th April 2014 by the militant Islamist group Boko Haram. The adoption shocked the world and led to the global Bring Back Our Girls campaign, which concluded former US First Lady Michelle Obama. It is thought that almost 100 of them are still captive or are missing. The Nigerian army said it had rescued the young woman together with her 3 children. She was 5 months pregnant at the time of her rescue and claimed to be from Pemi town in Chibok. It added more than 180 girls captured during the adoption have either escaped or been freed from Boko Haram hideouts in Sambisa Forest in Borno, a northeastern state. Some of the freed and rescued girls have returned home pregnant or with children, and some have been critical of the Nigerian authorities about their treatment in state care since returning home. Mass adoptions remain a worry in Nigeria, with kidnapped gangs often targeting schools to snatch students for ransom demands. More than 1,680 pupils were kidnapped between early 2014 and the end of 2022, according to the charity Save the Children. Last month, more than 130 children were kidnapped from their school by gunmen in northwest Kaduna State, in one of the largest adoptions in recent years. Nigerian's army said all the pupils had been rescued by troops a few weeks later in neighboring Zamfara State, though no details have emerged about the operation. The top 3 finishers of the Belgium half marathon have been stripped of their medals following an investigation into the controversial result. It was alleged that the 3 African athletes deliberately allowed China's star runner He Jie to win Sunday's race. Footage appeared external to show Kenya's Robert Keita and Willy Manangat and Ethiopia's Dejan Hailu pointing to the line and slowing down to wave he passed. But the race organizing committee, who led the investigation, said that none of the 3 had been officially registered as pacemakers for he, so their actions breached the competition rules. The committee said all trophies, medals and bonuses will be recovered. China's state broadcaster CCTV also reported that all 4 had been punished and their results had been cancelled. After the race, the Chinese Athletic Association said it would seek to improve the organization of road running events in the country. China's He won marathon gold at the 2023 Asian Games in Hangzhou and is his country's record holder for the full marathon. Kenya's government has sent a team to investigate the helicopter crash that killed military chief Gen Francis Ogola and 9 others. It was not immediately clear what caused the crash. Gen Ogola was among 12 occupants of the military aircraft that went down on Thursday afternoon, shortly after takeoff in the northwest of the country. The bodies of those who died were flown to Nairobi, and the 2 survivors are being treated in hospital. Announcing 3 days of national mourning, President William Ruto said that deaths were a moment of great sadness for the country. Mr. Ruto described his chief military advisor as a gallant officer who had died in the line of duty. General Ogola first joined the Kenya Defense Force on 24th April 1984, according to the Kenyan Defense Ministry website. He was due to mark 40 years in the military next week. He began his career as a second lieutenant in the country's Air Force, where he trained as a fighter pilot with the U.S. Air Force, the military says. In 2018, he became commander of the Air Force. The 9 others killed in the crash were named as Brig Swale Sadi, Colonel Duncan Kitani, Lieutenant Colonel David Sawe, Marge George Benson Magondu, Captain Zora Mohammed, Captain Hilary Litali, Senior Sergeant John Kinyo Murati, Sergeants Clipfon Modi, and Sergeant Rose Yawira. Wasa Faki Mahamat, chair of the African Union Commission, said its thoughts and prayers went to the Kenya's president, government, and people following the tragic helicopter accidents. The officers had traveled to Kenya's North Rift region, which has been plagued by banditry. That is the size of top accolade African news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Friday.